Hi, welcome to another episode of Tech Geek Gamers. We are your hosts,
Matt
and Corey. This week we are talking the Dysentery beta.
Breastiny?
It started with a D. It was called the beta, right? We played the alpha and we beat that.
The symbol is a bicycle seat?
Okay, the Destiny beta happened the past 2 weeks. If you're on the PlayStation 4, which both of us are, and we played the bejesus out of it.
Holy cow, I don't think I've sunk that much time into a game that wasn't really a game.
No.
It was like a test slice, like
Yes.
a little section of a part of this was going to be this big universe.
Yes, and it seems to be getting bigger and bigger. We thought the difference between the alpha and the beta would be grand. It was not. It was quite small. They gave us a little taste of some extra other things, but they laid some groundwork to reinforce what kind of great game this is going to be, and that was with the mechanics, the weapons. Everything about this game just oozes goodness.
Yeah, I mean, starting from the very base foundation, this is a shooter. Bungie calls it a shared world shooter, but if you start with the actual shooting, the mechanics are really, really solid. Essentially, they've built on everything that made Halo great, but they've spun it into all sorts of unique customization in terms of the guns and between classes. The Warlock, the Titan, and the Hunter all feel very, very different in terms of play styles, but there's this synergy in the gameplay where while everything's different, everything feels comparable and feels good and feels tight and smooth, and I'm just using words to describe it, but they're all correct.
They're all correct, yes, yeah.
The guns are they're all different, even the ones that are in the same class. Like you'll notice the difference between two scout rifles in terms of one having more impact or the other having a faster reload time. The differences between the primary weapons, the secondary weapons, and the heavy weapons, everything feels really good, and because you're constantly picking up a better version of what you were just using, you're definitely, you feel like you're building towards something, and you're always looking for that next gun that gives you...
Yeah, I loved it when the little green Ingram would drop and you're like, ooh!
Right!
And then you just get back and you go to the cryptographer guy, whatever his name was, and you'd be like, what is it? Like, it's a primary weapon, but is it another scout rifle? Is it another... And then it had that... I love that discovery. And when, okay, this is a better weapon. Or the subtext where it would be, you know, I had a hand cannon where a missed bullet would have a chance to reload itself instantly into your clip. There's cool things like that. Okay, so moving along, we are going to talk about level design and how good it is. But we're going to start with the map.
The world map.
Yeah, the big map. Well, outside the world map, like the universe map.
Right, where you set your destination, you choose where you want to go in Destiny.
Right, and you can go to the moon, the tower, Earth, the Crucible, the Mars, not the Mars, but Mars, Venus, the Vanguard.
Which I'm not quite sure what that is.
We don't know what that is.
Yet, but,
IGN posted a video, and it shows this in a video, so you don't know what it is. I'm guessing could be where raids are. Who knows? Speculation. And then the Reef or the Rift?
The Reef, I think.
Okay, it's on the screen right now, so you tell us in the comments below. Yeah.
Bungie are experts at designing very, very large maps that feel like real places and feel like genuine landscapes. Like this could be on Earth, and that's perfect in a large map where you're playing cooperatively, taking out packs of groups, and moving forward to an objective. And then you've got the multiplayer maps.
Yeah, those are planned
very
well.
So good. I mean, like honestly, I've played lots and lots of multiplayer modes where the maps look exactly the same, or like I feel like I'm running around a maze because this part of the map looks just like this part of the map. Bungie is very good at designing areas that all fit with each other, but all feel strategically unique, so that when you're playing a mode like Control in the beta, holding those choke points, it's actually you can come from behind to win because the strategies in terms of capturing each of them and holding them are so different and play to the gameplay very well.
This guy's motorcycle is really nice. We're gonna keep going.
It's different from games like Call of Duty and Battlefield to me, where I get lost very quickly in the map because this map looks just like that other map. I'm in Crumbling Village number 27. Everything feels very, very, very unique in Bungie's maps, and it's something that they've done very well ever since, through Halo till now. These maps especially.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And then there's finally, this is before we move on, and we're going to only touch on this for very short, less than 10 seconds. Raids. There's still raid levels that we don't know where the heck we're going. These are all new areas. There's new strikes that we haven't done. There's all these other areas outside of just the PvP and the explore maps that we haven't even discovered. The moon felt so different, so vacant, so monotone compared to old Russia, compared to Venus. Venus was so lush and there's so much just in the environment and the immersion that Google has.
Did you say Google?
Did I say Google?
I think you said Google.
Bungie has made shit. Okay, moving into what my favorite. This is the part that I love. I love to hold it up to my nose and smell it. That's what I love about this, and that's the MMO aspects of the story. The shared shooter RPG aspects of this game, and the uniqueness that everybody is creating their own character through the way they play, which we've touched on before.
The customization is just off the charts.
Right.
So far.
Yeah.
Like I think I've started between the alpha and the beta 5 or 6 different characters. They've all felt unique. They've all had their own unique stats. All of the weapons and armor that are on them have completely changed their statistics. I think this is a part of Bungie's idea for Destiny, which was a bit of a Dungeons and Dragons type overlay. And you kind of see that with.
The only thing is we look exactly the same, except for you're a guy and I was a girl.
Do you have a screenshot of this?
I might. We played together, so we might be. If we were in the tower together.
You should look at. I don't know how we designed almost the same character.
Were you bald as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were identical, except for he was a man and I was a woman.
Great minds think alike.
There's a wizard here.
The next thing are things where we felt the beta fell short. Caveat, asterisk, giant thing across the screen.
Yeah. We
don't know anything outside of the beta. We don't know a lot about this game. We know that there's raids coming because that information has been dropped. Like we said before, we don't know what the Vanguard is. We don't know what the Rift Reef thing is. We don't.
for Bungie to have me this hype on what still seems like such a narrow slice of what the game actually is, and we've only really working with a lot of the basic mechanics. It's actually quite impressive. Story to an extent.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Asterisk.
Because we don't know lots about the story.
Essentially, the ghost. Does Ghost have a name, or is it just Ghost? Ghost wakes you up.
The Ghost.
The Ghost wakes you up.
I call mine Raymond.
Peter Dinklage wakes you up.
Yes.
And
robotic Peter Dinklage.
Right.
Anyway, continue.
He wakes you up. You've been dead for several hundred years. You are one of these guardians. The guardians are the defenders of the traveler, who are supposed to be helping it get rid of the darkness that has come. And then there's the Fallen and the Hive, but I don't really know how they fit together. And so you visit the tower, and there's this the Guardians are it's part of an order, and there's someone you report to, and so they right in the beta, at least in terms of the story, it just kind of seems like it's there, it's functional. I have enough context to understand what I'm doing in these story missions, but I'm not connecting so much with the lore, and I want to, because I think the Traveler is cool, and I want to know about the story, and I feel like that mystery is heading somewhere cool, and the beta kind of just gives you a hint.
Yeah. It's, I totally agree. It feels exactly like you said. It's functional. I know I'm good, maybe. And I know those guys are bad, maybe. And I know the Traveler is something I'm defending because it's good, maybe.
Maybe. Enemy types, I think, in the beta, it was limited. Obviously, you're just in, for the most part, old Russia. I think enemy types were a little different on the moon. In that moon mission.
They seemed to look different, but I think they were still Fallen.
Fighting the Fallen, fighting the Hive.
5 types.
There's types. Yeah, there's like the
wizards from the moon.
Severus Prime or
Oh yeah, the
Septus
Prime.
Septic Prime.
Septic Prime. Yeah, I don't know. The orbs.
Yeah,
then you had the Vandals, and then you had the Knights, and like there's 8 or 10 types.
See, and
but you played a lot of them.
Right, and the thing was that there was also enemy types that were kind of off the beaten path or hidden. Like there was all those hallowed knights that are down in the basement of that one area. There's the anointed ogre who's like living on the cliff in old Russia. So you get a little bit of like, okay, there are some more types, but again, this is a beta, so I don't think they're giving us enough to get an impression of what the game is without tipping their hand.
I think there's gonna be a lot more. I think exactly what you said. I think they just said, okay, throw these 5 types or 10 types in. This is the type they'll play on here. But we've seen videos on IGN of playing these raids where there's big like guys in giant suits of armor with giant shields, and so I think there's going to be very different types. But I agree, if it's if we're fighting Thug A, Thug B, and Thug C a lot, it's going to be like, okay. Like, this is going to start droning on if it's going to take me so many hours to beat the campaign. But, still do it. Okay, that's it for this week's episode of Tech Geek Gamers. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to leave a comment below of what your thoughts were of Destiny Beta, what we missed out of that, because we know like you guys like to point out all our errors. Also, come play with us when Destiny comes out, September 9th. Matt is Power Eye on PlayStation Network on Clean Mod. Already had a couple new friends because of our alpha review, and unfortunately didn't get a chance to play with them, but that's okay. Remember to share, remember to like, remember to subscribe. We're growing slowly because of you guys. You're our marketing team, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. Woo!